So Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker drops another 70% again. After, when they've had off tickets, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker had actually the biggest drop of any movie. Biggest drop of any movie of yesterday. Okay? Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is going to top the weekend. There's no question about that because that's how it's going to be. There's no other releases coming out, so of course Star Wars is going to top the weekend. We're going to see if it's actually a drop off from yesterday, or if it's good. So Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is, might play out. Let's say the movie ends up like how it sold the last night. So domestically, the movie will probably end up around 495 million. And considering it does similar internationally, so 4.5.6, it does pretty similar worldwide. The movie might actually go $998 million. Okay, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker has been performing almost exactly the same internationally, even if it does put it slightly over. So it's still a chance that Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker may actually not pass $1 billion. If it does the same legs as The Last Jedi domestically, and of course international, it's going to be very, very close to Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, I assume it'll be 10 million ahead at very least, 5 million internationally. So that means it will gross $1 billion. It'll be barely enough. It'll be similar to the Dark Knight's gross, which is completely pathetic for a Star Wars movie. It's already fallen way behind The Last Jedi as well. The Last Jedi has its holiday sales coming out, which people say, oh, it's the biggest in history, well, the biggest in history, but Star Wars is now dropping 70% again. As I predicted, this movie is just not doing too well. Okay, you know, it dropped 71% after Christmas, and now it dropped another 70% after New Year's. After New Year's, it dropped 70% again. So into this movie's wigs, how could be awful afterwards. And there is not many, the next movies that'll come out are Doolittle and and Bad Boys for Life, which won't really compete with Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Won't really compete that well. But if you compare it to The Last Jedi and, of course, Rogue One, you can see that both of these movies are outselling Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker pretty easily, pretty handily. Rogue One is selling 2 times the tickets on the same weekend, 2 times the money, 2 times the dollars, okay? And of course, if you adjust it for inflation, Rogue One is probably passing. It's doing so, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is gonna do worse if its ratings continue doing this badly. Worse than Rogue One adjusted for inflation. Worse than that movie. That's how poorly The Rise of Skywalker is now doing. It is now doing just as badly as Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, which is a spin-off. A spin-off of Star Wars is doing just as poorly, just as badly as a main Star Wars movie. And Rogue One had 5 more days, has 4 more days to catch up to The Rise of Skywalker as well. So this movie will probably eventually be surpassed by Rogue One. Won't be surprised if it does, considering how bad The Rise of Skywalker is, considering how awful this movie is, considering how people don't want to sit through this movie. This will probably be the last weekend over $10 million per day for The Rise of Skywalker, and another 30 million total domestic weekend, being around $440 million to $450 million. The fact that Rogue One is even coming close to The Rise of Skywalker, the fact that this movie is even coming close to The Rise of Skywalker is pretty alarming for the Star Wars franchise. The fact that it's not going to pass Star Wars: The Last Jedi at all. This is the end of the Skywalker saga, and it's still doing worse. It's doing worse than Rogue One. Worse than Rogue One. Absolutely doing worse than Rogue One, and expect it to do around Rogue One's numbers, or even worse. Which shows the state of the Star Wars franchise, shows the state that Disney put Star Wars into. The fact that it's now being outsold by Rogue One shows how awful Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is doing in theaters. It shows how awful this movie has done after Christmas. It shows that the ratings of this movie is not as great as Disney makes it out to be. It shows that Disney is not this invincible company that they make it out to be. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker will not. My new prediction is it will not surpass Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It will not surpass Rogue One. Only a miracle can make Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, because there was still a chance it could pass Rogue One, a Star Wars story. But now it's only a miracle if it does pass Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So that's basically it. Goodbye.